Chapter 704. Kai Jin Shan's face turned gloomy. What a joke. The seal here. My red leopard tribe has been here for 60 years. Many god-level inscription masters have tried, but none of them could break it. He's just a brat, a heaven-level inscription master. How can he break the seal here? There's no such possibility. Leave quickly, or else, I'll take it as him trespassing and suppress him. Sixth uncle, Lu Ming hasn't even tried. How do you know he can't? With our tribe's current situation, shouldn't we seize every opportunity? Kai Yu argued. Presumptuous. What does a junior know? Leave quickly. Kai Jin Shan scolded. I think this seal can be broken. Suddenly, Lu Ming's voice came out, causing the scene to go silent. Everyone's gaze turned towards Lu Ming. Really? Kai Yu's eyes revealed a look of ecstasy. Of course. Lu Ming nodded his head. Boasting shamelessly, brat, what are your intentions? You want to destroy my red leopard tribe's forbidden area. I suspect you're using some evil technique to control Kai Yu. You have evil intentions. Men, kill this brat for me. Kai Jin Shan's face was extremely gloomy. Killing intent burst out as he shouted. Yes. The guards at the valley entrance waved their hands, and cheetah puppets appeared on the ground. All of them were Sea of Spirit Realm puppets. The puppets roared, and were about to pounce towards Lu Ming. Who dares? Kai Yu shouted, blocking in front of Lu Ming, at the same time summoning her cheetah puppet. Miss Kai Yu is already being controlled by this evil person. She can't do anything. Quickly, kill that brat and save Miss. Kai Jin Shan roared. Kill that brat for me. Kai Feng also roared, killing intent bursting out. Lu Ming's face was gloomy. With a wave of his hand, the giant wolf puppet appeared, blocking in front of him. It stepped on the ground, waving its hands, and lines of inscriptions appeared on the ground. A great battle was about to break out. Stop, what are you doing? At this moment, a loud roar came out. A white-haired old man riding a cheetah puppet flew over. Second uncle. Red Moon was overjoyed. The white-haired elder descended and swept his gaze across the scene. His face was gloomy as he said, what exactly is going on? Second brother, that brat is controlling you. He has ulterior motives. I was just about to kill him, Kai Jinshan hurriedly said. Nonsense. Second uncle, Lu Ming is an inscription master from the outside world. He can break the seal of the canyon, so I brought him here. I didn't think that sixth uncle would want to kill Lu Ming, Kai Yu argued. What? He can break the seal of the canyon? The white-haired elder's face was filled with shock, and his eyes shone brightly. Due to his excitement, a layer of blue spiritual fire appeared above his head, and a vast amount of spiritual energy filled the entire area. You don't be fooled by this person. He is just a heaven-level inscription master and he is so young. How many inscriptions can he master? How can he break this seal? This is utter nonsense. Kai Jinshan said coldly. Second uncle, why don't we let Lu Ming give it a try? What if it works? This is related to the rise and fall of our clan. Please reconsider, second uncle, Kai Yu said loudly. Kai Yu's second uncle was called Kai Jintian. At this time, he looked at Lu Ming with a glimmer of hope in his eyes. He said, young man, can you really break the seal here? Lu Ming nodded and said, I have observed it just now. There are 3 different inscriptions in it. The inscription formations are intertwined. There should be more than 100 inscription formations. Although it is mysterious, it is not difficult to break it after 60 years. Lu Ming's words made Kai Yu and Kai Jintian's eyes shine brightly, but Kai Jinshan's face became gloomier. This is a serious matter. I need to inform the patriarch and the elders. Kai Jintian took out a voice-transmitting jade charm and sent a few messages. Then, he waited. Kai Jinshan knew that he could not stop it, so he walked aside with a gloomy face. Lu Ming glanced at Kai Jinshan, and his eyes flickered a few times. Kai Jinshan was very strange. He desperately tried to stop him from breaking the seal. As Kai Yu said, this was related to the rise and fall of the red leopard tribe. Even if there was a 1 in a million chance, he had to give it a try. But Kai Jinshan kept stopping him. It was impossible to say that it was because of Kai Feng. When he did not mention breaking the seal, Kai Jinshan was still normal. It seemed that he had the intention to break it. So all this made Lu Ming feel very strange. Whoosh, whoosh. In just a few minutes, the wind whistled, and 7 or 8 giant cheetah puppets flew over. There were 8 cheetah puppets in total, and each of them had a person standing on it. One of them was in his 50s and emitted a majestic aura. Lu Ming guessed that he might be Kai Yu's father, the patriarch of the Red Leopard tribe, Kai Jinkong. The other 7 were white-haired old men. They should be the elders of the Red Leopard tribe. Greetings to the patriarch and elders. Kai Jintian, Kai Jinshan and the guards all saluted together. Father, elders of the tribe. Kai Yu also came forward and saluted. Kai Jinkong's eyes were like lightning. He looked at Lu Ming and said, is he the person you mentioned who can break the seal? Although Kai Jinkong pretended to be calm, he still showed a trace of excitement. Yes, father. Lu Ming is from outside the earth. He is the most powerful inscriber there. Although he is at the peak of the heaven level, his mind power is as strong as the immortal level. Kai Yu came forward and held Kai Jinkong's arm with a smile. The most talented inscriber there is. Kai Jinkong and the 7 elders' eyes lit up. Lu Ming touched his nose and smiled bitterly. This girl was too good at bragging. Haha, I think you've been fooled by him. According to the ancient legends, the world outside the earth is boundless. It is countless times bigger than here. There are countless people, like sand. How can he be the most talented inscriber? He must be bragging on purpose to deceive you that he is young. Patriarch, elders, you must not believe this person. If something goes wrong and causes the formation to explode, it will destroy the body of the previous patriarch and the inscription manual. Then our Red Leopard tribe will really be finished. Kai Jinshan jumped out to stop them. 6th uncle, you haven't seen Lu Ming fight. How do you know that his inscribing way is not strong? Kai Yu said stubbornly. In that case, why don't we let him show us? If he wants to have mind power comparable to an immortal level inscriber at the heaven level, he needs to light up at least 7 or even 8 spirit lamps at each level. Let him show us his spirit rings. Kai Jinshan sneered. The immortal level inscriber he was talking about was of course a real inscriber. At each level, he needed to light up at least 6 spirit lamps, which was already very difficult. He didn't believe that Lu Ming could light up 7 or even 8 spirit lamps at each level. Humph, Lu Ming, show us your spirit rings. Chapter 705. Kai Jinkong, the 7 elders, and Kai Jintian turned to look at Lu Ming. Lu Ming shook his head in his heart. He had helped the Red Leopard tribe, but Kai Jinshan had stopped him. Given his character, he would have left long ago. The reason why he stayed was firstly because of Kai Yu. Secondly, at this point, if he turned around and left, he would definitely not be valued by the Red Leopard tribe. He still wanted to make use of the Red Leopard tribe's strength to inquire about Xian Yanqing's whereabouts. Since you want to see, open your eyes and watch carefully. Lu Ming's gaze swept toward the Kaijin mountain. Buzz. At the same time, a red ring appeared above Lu Ming's head. There were 10 points on the ring, which were as dazzling as stars. 10 spirit lamps. He has lit 10 spirit lamps in the first stage. Kai Jinkong, the 7 elders, and the rest of the crowd were astounded. Some of the elders even yelled out in shock. Kai Jinshan's eyes almost popped out. He opened his mouth so wide that he could swallow a dead mouse. He stared at Lu Ming in a daze. Lu Ming had lit 10 spirit lamps in the first stage and reached the perfect stage. Haha, I knew it. Lu Ming's talent is the best in the outer world. After Kai Yu recovered from his initial shock, he laughed heartily. Humph, it's only the first stage. Maybe he was lucky enough to obtain a powerful flame. That's why he could light up 10 spirit lamps in the first stage. There have been such cases in history. However, the later stages, the harder it is to light up the spirit lamps. Let's see how many he can light up later, Kai Jinshan said with a gloomy face. Father is right. Kai Feng chimed in. Oh, is that so? Then open your dog eyes wide and take a good look. There was a sneer at the corners of Lu Ming's lips. Immediately after, There was another flash of light above his head. This time, 2 rings appeared consecutively. One was orange and the other was yellow. The 2 rings were the same as the first one. They both had 10 bright spots, dazzling and mesmerizing. Everyone was stunned. Their eyes were wide open, and they were extremely shocked. The first 3 stages were all perfect, with 10 spirit lamps lit. This was simply too shocking. Kai Jinshan's face flushed red. Kai Feng was dumbfounded. Didn't they want to see it? As for Lu Ming, he would let him take a good look. Let's continue watching. The cold smile at the corner of Lu Ming's mouth deepened. In the next moment, 2 more rings appeared above his head. There were 2 rings, one green and one blue. On top of each ring, there were 10 bright spots. 5 rings stacked on top of each other. The 50 bright spots almost blinded Kai Jinshan's eyes. Perfect, all perfect. All 5 stages are perfect. Oh my God, what am I seeing? A miracle, a genius. This is the strongest genius this old man has ever seen. Yu was right. He is the #1 genius in the outer world. Several elders who were hundreds of years old could no longer control their emotions. They shouted one after another, their faces flushed with excitement. Kai Yu's mouth formed an O shape. She stood there in a daze. After a while, her eyes lit up. As for Kai Jinshan and Kai Feng, it was as if they had seen a ghost. They looked at Lu Ming, unable to say a word. Their lips were trembling non-stop. Lighting 10 spirit lamps in all 5 stages. This was simply a legend. In their world, they had never heard of such a genius. There was even a rumor in this world that 9 was the limit. It was impossible to be perfect. In other words, lighting 9 spirit lamps was the limit. Perfection was just a legend. It was a realm that was expected. But now, it had appeared in front of a young man in his 20s. My current mental strength should be enough, right? Lu Ming's gaze continued to fall on Kai Jinshan. Kai Jinshan's expression changed. He did not say a word. He could not speak. Good, good, good. Little brother Lu is indeed the #1 genius in the outer world. I believe that little brother Lu will be able to break the seal. Kai Jinkong laughed with excitement in his eyes. That's right. Little brother, please come forward and check those inscription arrays to see how to break them. A white-haired elder said excitedly. Except for Kai Jinkong and Kai Feng, everyone looked at Lu Ming expectantly. Perhaps, Lu Ming could really do it. Okay. Lu Ming nodded and walked forward. He came to the place full of inscriptions and looked at it carefully. Dandan, can you really break it? Lu Ming transmitted a message to Dandan. The seal here was made up of 3 different arrays. There were more than 100 of them. The 3 arrays were intertwined with each other. Moreover, they were all extremely advanced level 6 inscription arrays. The chiefs of the Skywolf tribe, the Shadow Snake tribe, and the Blood Tiger tribe who had set up the arrays were all level 6 inscriptionists. To be honest, with Lu Ming's current attainment in the path of inscription, it was still difficult for him to break it. The reason why he agreed was that Dandan had transmitted a message to him that it could break it. Nonsense. Don't you know who I am? I'm the head of the top 10 battle beasts. I've lived for countless years. I know astronomy and yin and yang. How can a mere level 6 inscription array be difficult for me? Dandan began to boast again. Of course, it transmitted a message and no one could hear it. Lu Ming was used to Dandan's boasting. He directly ignored Dandan's boasting and said, "Oh? How can I break it? Boy, listen to me. Start with the vertical 18 inscriptions of Raging Flame, then the horizontal 7 inscriptions of Explosion." Dandan began to guide him. Blue flames spread out between Lu Ming's fingers and engraved in the air. Inscriptions appeared in different directions and flew into the ground at the entrance of the canyon. Everyone in the Red Leopard tribe widened their eyes and stared at it. Howl. Suddenly, a wolf howled. An array shone and condensed into a giant wolf, which pounced on Lu Ming. Everyone's heart skipped a beat. Kai Jinshan's eyes lit up. However, Lu Ming's expression was calm. He allowed the huge wolf to pounce on him. When the huge wolf pounced on Lu Ming, it exploded with a bang, turning into spots of light and dissipating. The first array was broken. The first array is broken. It's really broken. Kai Jinkong and the 7 elders were all overjoyed. Dad, Grandpa, look. I was right. Lu Ming will definitely be able to do it. Kai Yu said with a smile. Yes, but this seal is made up of 136 arrays. The deeper you go, the harder it is to break. Let's see what happens later. Kai Jinkong said. At the same time, Lu Ming continued to engrave inscriptions. The inscriptions flew into the ground one by one. After a while, a giant blood-red tiger pounced out and then dissipated. The second array was broken. Afterward, Lu Ming's fingers did not stop. He continued to inscribe inscriptions in the air. One array after another was cracked by Lu Ming. Chapter 706. The more excited Kai Jinkong and the others were, the more they looked forward to it. Perhaps it would work this time. God bless. Ancient ancestor bless. They prayed in their hearts. Perhaps the ancient ancestor did not want the red leopard tribe to be destroyed, so he sent such a genius. The chosen one. At the same time, Kai Jinkong and the other elders thought of this word. They looked at each other and became more excited and expectant. Phew. At this time, Lu Ming took a deep breath, sat cross-legged on the ground, and closed his eyes. After breaking 18 formations in a row, he did not have enough mind power and needed to recover. We will guard this place. No one is allowed to leave, Kai Jinkong ordered. To prevent any accidents, they would guard this place personally. At this time, Kai Jinshan's face became gloomier and his eyes flashed with a strange light. Kai Feng looked at Lu Ming with jealousy in his eyes. There was nothing else. 3 hours later, Lu Ming got up and continued to crack the formations. However, from this point onwards, the array became more complicated and more difficult. Lu Ming's speed also slowed down a little. This time, Lu Ming spent more than an hour to crack 18 formations. Then, he sat cross-legged again and began to recover. A few hours later, Lu Ming got up again with a smile on his face. He found that cracking formations this way could make his mind power purer, and he could also train. He felt that he was getting closer and closer to becoming a 6th-level inscriptionist. Lu Ming continued to crack the formations, but the further he went, the slower he became. On the first day, Lu Ming cracked 50 inscription formations. On the second day, he cracked 30 inscription formations. On the third day, he cracked 20 inscription formations. There were 136 formations in total. Now, there were only 36 formations left. However, Lu Ming stopped when he reached the last 36th seat. He pondered for a while and then walked to Kai Jinkong. Patriarch Kai, the next 36 inscription formations are mainly made by the Yin snake tribe. They are extremely vicious and unstable. If you are not careful, they will explode and destroy this valley. Lu Ming said. Kai Jinkong's expression changed. He asked anxiously, what should we do then? That's easy. Lu Ming needs a favor from clan leader Kai. Lu Ming said. Brother Lu, please speak. Even if we mobilize the entire red leopard tribe, it won't be a problem. Kai Jinkong's tone was firm. It's not that serious. I just need some materials. I have a material here called crimson blood sand. I need the patriarch to send someone to refine it. A jade tablet appeared in Lu Ming's hand. It contained the refining method of the scarlet blood sand and the required materials. He handed it over to Kai Jinkong. Kai Jinkong glanced at it and said, not a problem, but I'm afraid it'll take me 6 to 7 days to refine it. Don't worry, Patriarch Kai. Is there a place where poisonous snakes gather nearby? I will personally hunt some poisonous snakes and take their essence blood to refine another material. Only by combining these two materials can we break the last 36 formations. Lu Ming said. A place where venomous snakes gather? To the west of the red leopard tribe, there's 1,000 Snakes Valley. There are a large number of poisonous snakes there, but that's already the territory of the shadow snake tribe. Kai Jinkong said. Don't worry, I just need to sneak there and hunt some poisonous snakes. Lu Ming smiled. That's great. Brother Lu, you've been working hard for the past few days to break the formations. Let's take a rest at the Red Leopard tribe and then prepare the materials. Although Kai Jinkong was quite anxious and excited, he still spoke politely to Lu Ming. Lu Ming was now the hope of the Red Leopard tribe. Sure. Lu Ming nodded. Kai Jinkong left a few elders to guard the place while he and the rest of the elders brought Lu Ming and Kai Yu to the Red Leopard tribe. Lu Ming, you haven't been to our tribe, right? Let me show you around. What's it like in the outer world? Your skin is so white and smooth. Also, the clothes you're wearing are strange too. Along the way, Red Moon followed Lu Ming, chattering non-stop and asking a lot of questions. Lu Ming smiled bitterly. He couldn't help but think of a girl, Xian Xin. At that time, Xian Xin was also very curious. She kept asking about it non-stop. Lu Ming explained casually. Soon, they arrived at the ancient city. It was a stone city. The buildings inside were all made of stone. The stone city was bustling with people. It was different from the cities Lu Ming had seen before. It was full of exotic charm. When he arrived, Lu Ming's heart suddenly stirred. He asked, Clan leader Kai, during this period of time, did anyone from the outside world like me come here? Yes, there are about 100 people. They're all living in the main hall in the west. We didn't restrict their movements. Kai Jinkong explained. Can you show me? Lu Ming asked. He wanted to see if there were any familiar faces. Maybe Xie Nianqing was here too? Of course. I'll go back and order people to prepare the red blood sand. Third uncle, you bring little brother Lu to the main hall in the west. Kai Jinkong instructed. Yes, father. Kai Yu smiled. She was accompanied by a white-haired old man. They led Lu Ming to the main hall in the west. Along the way, many people looked at Lu Ming curiously. During this period of time, many people from beyond the earth had come. The news had spread like wildfire, and they were all very curious. There was a huge stone hall in the west. There were many stone houses in it. During this period, there were more than 100 people living here. They were all from the chaotic astral ocean. Zhong Yuan was in a bad mood during this period. He was the sect leader of the blood poison sect. He thought that with the key to the martial emperor's treasure, he would get a great opportunity. The blood poison sect would soar and he would be able to break through and reach the supreme realm. He didn't expect that all his plans would be ruined by Lu Ming, causing countless people to rush into the martial emperor's treasure. Not only that, after entering the martial emperor's treasure, he didn't get anything. Instead, he was chased everywhere. In the end, he had no choice but to follow the people of the Red Leopard tribe to the Red Leopard tribe. At this moment, he was sitting in the courtyard with two experts in the third layer of the spiritual sea realm. They were drinking and chatting. Brother Zhong, according to my speculation, the Saint Mountain in the underground world is very likely to be related to the martial emperor's treasure. This time, we have to work together. An old man in the third layer of the spiritual sea realm said. That's right, and I speculate that there should be a way out of the Saint Mountain. At that time, we can leave this damn place. The other martial artist in the third layer of the spiritual sea realm said. I hope so. Zhong Yuan drank a cup of wine. His eyes flickered as he thought about something. Creak. At this moment, the door opened. Lu Ming and the others walked in. The people in the courtyard also looked at the door. Chapter 707. Upon hearing the voice, Lu Ming looked in the direction of the voice. There was a strong murderous intent in his eyes. Blood poison sect's sect leader. A cold voice came from Lu Ming's mouth. The white-haired old man in front of him was the blood poison sect's sect leader, the one who injured him and wanted to steal his jade sword. He didn't expect to meet him here. Ha ha ha, little bastard, I said before that if I meet you, I'll kill you. Your luck is really bad to meet me here. Let's see how you'll die this time. Zhong Yuan laughed loudly and stood up from the table, emitting a terrifying aura. A fourth-layer spiritual ocean tier martial artist was too strong, much stronger than a third-layer spiritual ocean tier martial artist. His aura was like a vast ocean, suppressing Lu Ming. Dong. Dong. Zhong Yuan stepped forward, causing the ground to rumble with every step he took. What do you want? Kai Yu stepped forward, blocking Lu Ming. Her face turned cold as she glared at Zhong Yuan. So it's Miss Kai Yu. Miss Kai Yu, please step aside. This person has a grudge with me, and I'll kill him, Zhong Yuan said coldly. No, this is the Red Leopard tribe. Fighting is not allowed. Kai Yu said coldly. Miss Kai Yu, you'd better step aside. This time, I agreed to go to the sacred mountain and participate in the test. But if I don't kill this person, don't blame me for not doing my best during the test. Zhong Yuan sneered. Anyone could hear that this was a threat. Among the 100 or so outsiders who came to the Red Leopard tribe, Zhong Yuan was the strongest, at the 4th layer spiritual ocean tier. He was the most promising participant in the Red Leopard tribe's test. These few days, the people of the Red Leopard tribe were all polite to him, treating him as an honored guest. Naturally, he had the confidence. I want him to die. At this moment, Lu Ming spoke. Hearing Lu Ming's words, Zhong Yuan was stunned for a moment, then laughed loudly. The other 2 3rd-layer spiritual ocean tier elders also laughed. Haha, this kid is a peak king. Has he lost his mind? He actually wants Brother Zhong to die. Where did he get his confidence from? Did he say that to Miss Kai Yu and the others? That's even more ridiculous. Does he think he's more important than Brother Zhong? Young people can't recognize themselves. How pitiful, how sad. The 2 old men in the 3rd layer of the spiritual ocean tier laughed loudly, full of mockery. But in the next moment, their smiles froze. Because Kai Yu looked at Lu Ming and asked, "Are you serious?" "Yes. I must kill him." Lu Ming was resolute and decisive. "All right, if little brother Lu wants to kill him, I'll do it." At the side, the Red Leopard elder spoke. With a wave of his hand, a gigantic leopard puppet appeared, emitting a terrifying aura. 7th level of Sea of Souls realm. This cheetah had the aura of a 7th level Sea of Souls realm warrior. That kind of aura was so powerful that it made people's hearts palpitate and despair. Zhong Yuan was completely dumbfounded. He looked at the Red Leopard elder with a pale face and screamed, "What are you doing? This kid is only a martial king. I'm many times stronger than him. I have a chance at the Sacred Mountain trial. You should kill him, kill him. Little brother Lu is the benefactor of my Red Leopard tribe." What did he say? My Red Leopard tribe will do our best to satisfy him. Whoever he wants to kill, we'll kill. Now, die. The Red Leopard elder shouted coldly. The cheetah puppet roared and pounced at Zhong Yuan at an unimaginable speed. No, no, how can this be? I can't accept this. Zhong Yuan roared hysterically, resisting with all his might. But the difference between a puppet in the 4th layer of the spiritual ocean tier and a puppet in the 7th layer was too great. The cheetah puppet clawed out, tearing apart all of Zhong Yuan's defenses and attacks. Then, it tore his body into 2 halves. The Blood Poison Sect's sect master, an almighty in the 4th layer of the spiritual ocean tier, an expert whose might shook the chaotic astral ocean, was full of ambition, and died just like that. He died with incomparable grievance. He didn't even know why he died. Why did the Red Leopard tribe listen to Lu Ming's every word? The 2 old men in the 3rd layer of the spiritual ocean tier watched this scene dumbfoundedly, almost biting off their own tongues. Then, they trembled as they looked at Lu Ming, cold sweat dripping down their backs. The Red Leopard tribe actually listened to Lu Ming's every word. Lu Ming's one word, and an elder of the Red Leopard tribe attacked, killing Zhong Yuan in one move. What was going on? They'd both lived for more than 1,000 years, but now, they found that their brains couldn't process the situation at all. Lu Ming strode forward, reached out his hand, and grabbed Zhong Yuan's storage ring in his hand. He also swallowed Zhong Yuan's blood essence while he was at it. Then, he looked at the 2 old men in the spiritual ocean tier and said coldly, "You've lived for more than 1,000 years, but can't even understand the situation. Pitiful, lamentable." The 2 old men's faces were flushed red, unable to show their faces. These were the words they'd said to Lu Ming just now, but how long had it been, and Lu Ming had returned the exact same words to them. Every word was like a slap to their faces. Lu Ming ignored them. Under Kai Yu's lead, he checked the place. Unfortunately, Xian Yanqing wasn't here, and neither was Ken Fei Ry. Miss Caillou, I need a room. I need to go into seclusion for a while. Lu Ming said. Zhong Yuan was in the 4th layer of the spiritual ocean tier, and his blood essence was too strong. He needed to go into seclusion to refine it. No problem. Caillou brought Lu Ming to the core area of the Red Leopard tribe and arranged a room for him. Lu Ming entered the room and entered the Temple of Paragon, beginning to refine the blood essence. He used all of his blood essence to improve the suppressing prison monument bloodline. The stronger the suppressing prison monument bloodline, the more powerful the suppressing prison heaven skill would be. The 9th silver chakra became brighter and brighter, and finally, like the other 9 chakras, it shone brightly. The peak of the 9th grade king stage. However, at the peak of the 9th level king level, it was too difficult to attain divine level bloodline. After Lu Ming refined all of Zhong Yuan's blood essence, he had a feeling that he was still a long way from attaining divine level. He didn't know how much more blood essence he needed to reach the divine grade. Half a day had passed, and Lu Ming walked out of the room. Lu Ming, you're done with your seclusion? Lu Ming saw Caillou as soon as he came out. Lu Ming nodded and said, You've been waiting for me? Not really. I just arrived. Do you want to walk around? Caillou said. No, I'll go to the 1000 Snake Valley to hunt poisonous snakes. How do I get there? Lu Ming shook his head and said. I'll take you there. That's the Shadow Snake tribe's territory. If there are too many people, it'll attract their attention. How about just the 2 of us go? Caillou said. All right. Lu Ming nodded. The 2 of them left the Stone City and headed west. The 1000 Snake Valley was 30,000 miles west of the Red Leopard tribe. This was the Shadow Snake tribe's territory. It was said that this was the Red Leopard tribe's territory a few decades ago. Later, the Red Leopard tribe lost a large area of land, and the 1000 Snake Valley fell into the hands of the Shadow Snake tribe. The 2 of them rode on the puppet, and arrived in less than half a day. Chapter 708. The vast mountains stretched as far as the eye could see. Between the vast mountains, there was a huge valley. The valley was about 100 miles long, and it was quiet all around. This was the 10,000 Snakes Valley. There were all kinds of poisonous snakes in the valley, tens of thousands of them. Other demonic beasts did not dare to come close to this place, so it was very quiet. The wind whistled as Lu Ming and Caillou descended from the sky on the cheetah puppet and landed at the entrance of the 10,000 Snakes Valley. The 2 of them put away the puppet and walked into the 10,000 Snakes Valley. Swoosh, swoosh. Before they had gone far, a black venomous snake shot towards the 2 of them like a bolt of black lightning. Bang! Caillou lightly stepped on the ground, and inscriptions appeared on the ground, forming a large inscription array. Dozens of arrows shot out from the inscription array and shot towards the black figures. With a light sound, those black snakes were accurately shot and were sent flying in all directions. The 2 of them continued forward. The valley was very wide, at least 10 miles long. It was covered with dense weeds, all kinds of old vines, low ancient trees, and piles of rocks. In some places, there were even swamps that were full of stench. Such an environment was most suitable for poisonous snakes to breed. As they moved forward, they encountered many poisonous snakes. However, these poisonous snakes were all below LV5, which was equivalent to the martial ancestor realm. Whether it was Lu Ming or Caillou, they were easily dealt with. Moreover, the blood essence of these poisonous snakes was useless. Lu Ming needed the blood essence of martial king-level poisonous snakes. When the 2 of them walked for more than 20 miles, the level of the poisonous snakes began to increase. Hiss hiss, a colorful poisonous snake slithered towards Lu Ming. The snake's forked tongue stretched out, and wisps of poisonous fog filled the air. King-level poisonous snake, I finally see one. A smile appeared on Lu Ming's face. He stepped forward and stretched out his hand. This poisonous snake did not have the slightest strength to resist and was caught in Lu Ming's hand. With a jolt of his true essence, the poisonous snake turned into ashes at a speed visible to the naked eye. In Lu Ming's palm, there were only 9 drops of blood essence rolling around each other like blood-red pearls. Swoosh, swoosh. Then, Lu Ming suspended the 9 drops of blood essence in the air. His hands quickly inscribed inscriptions into the 9 drops of blood essence. After a while, the 9 drops of blood essence exploded with a bang, turning into a cloud of blood mist that filled the air. It's done. Lu Ming smiled faintly. He then took out a jade bottle and absorbed all the blood mist into the jade bottle. He wanted to use the snake's blood essence to refine the blood mist and use it together with the crimson blood sand to break the last 36 formations. This was also the reason why his inscription level was not high enough. If he had become a level 6 inscription master and mastered some level 6 inscriptions and level 6 arrays, he would not have needed to use these materials to break the 36 arrays. 60 to 70,000 li away from the 10,000 Snake Valley was another large tribe, the Yin Snake Tribe. The Shadow Snake Tribe was very powerful. In the past few decades, they had annexed many of the Red Leopard Tribe's territories. Their strength had increased rapidly. The Red Leopard Tribe could not be compared to them. In the ancient city of the Shadow Snake Tribe, Xian Yanqing looked into the distance from a pavilion made of huge rocks. Her eyebrows were tightly knitted. She didn't come to the Shadow Snake Tribe of her own accord. She was captured. Now, on her wrists and ankles, there was a ring. This ring was like a snake coiled around her body, and there were complex inscriptions carved on it. This ring had the power to seal. It sealed Xian Yanqing's true qi and even her inscription flame. She could not use any of her cultivation. Otherwise, she would have escaped long ago. Creak. The door of the room was opened. A young man walked in. This young man was tall and slender. He was handsome, but his eyes were long and narrow. He gave people a very gloomy feeling. As soon as he walked in, the young man's gaze wandered around Xian Yanqing's body. Traces of burning flames flashed in his eyes. It was a strong desire to possess her. What are you doing here again? Xian Yanqing frowned. Miss Xie, what do you think? Marry me. I won't let you lose out. The young man smiled slightly. It seemed even more gloomy. Get lost. Xian Yanqing shouted coldly. She was not polite at all. The young man's face turned cold. He said, Miss Xie, don't forget where you are. I'm trying to persuade you. Don't refuse a toast only to be forced to drink a forfeit. Get lost. Xian Yanqing's reply was still one word. Good, good, very good. Let's wait and see. In the young man's eyes, evil flames flashed. They wandered around Xian Yanqing's body a few times. Then, he strode away. This bitch, I want you to kneel in front of me and beg me this morning. The young man's heart was burning with anger. Who was he? The son of the Shadow Snake Tribe's patriarch, the future successor of the Shadow Snake Tribe, Yin Q. He had great talent. What couldn't he get? But a few days ago, when he saw Xian Yanqing, he was stunned. Xian Yanqing was too beautiful. Moreover, she was completely different from the women in the underground world. Most of the women in the underground world were more boorish. Their skin was bronze and slightly rough. But Xian Yanqing had jade-like skin and a graceful figure. He was immediately attracted. He captured Xian Yanqing and wanted to make Xian Yanqing his 18th concubine. But with Xian Yanqing's character, the result was obvious. How could she agree? Yin Q walked in the courtyard with a gloomy face. Young master, what's wrong? That woman hasn't agreed. A skinny old man walked up and asked. That's right. This bitch not only didn't agree, but also told me to get lost. Old Kue, what can you do? Yin Q asked. Young master, since she doesn't want to do it the hard way, then let's do it the hard way. What's done can't be undone. The skinny old man sneered. Old Kue, I also thought about it. But even if her true yuan and spirit fire are sealed, her physical strength is still very strong. I'm afraid that if we use force, she will commit suicide. Otherwise, I would have done it long ago. Yin Q said. Whenever he thought of Xian Yanqing's graceful figure, an evil fire would burn in his body. Young master, this is easy. Right now is the breeding season for poisonous snakes. In the Thousand Snake Valley, the Snake Desires flower is in full bloom. The fragrance of the Snake Desires flower has no effect on those who have true yuan or spiritual fire. However, if one does not have true yuan or spiritual fire to protect their body, the The moment they smell the fragrance of the snake desire's flower, their entire body will go limp and they will lose all strength. At that time, young master will be able to do whatever you want. The skinny old man smiled sinisterly. Yin Qiu's eyes lit up. Then, he laughed and said, Old Kuei is indeed resourceful. All right, let's do it this way. Old Kuei, take a few people with you and use the excuse of going hunting to relax. Take that bitch and follow me to the Thousand Snake Valley. This time, I want to make that bitch wish she was dead. All right, I'll do it right away. Old Kuei bowed. Chapter 709. Xian Yanqing didn't want to go at first, but the other party welcomed her with a smile and said that he was only taking her hunting to relieve her boredom. Xian Yanqing couldn't refuse. If she refused, she was afraid that the other party would use force. Not long after, they arrived at the Thousand Snake Valley. The 9 of them walked in. In the beginning, they were indeed hunting poisonous snakes to concoct some medicine. Soon, they were more than 30 miles away from the valley. You guys hunt poisonous snakes in this area. I'll bring Miss Xian Yanqing to the front to take a look. Yin Qiu instructed. All right, young master. You guys go ahead. Elder Kuei said with a smile. There was a hint of eeriness in his smile. Miss Xie, let's continue forward. Yin Qiu said to Xian Yanqing. Xian Yanqing frowned. She had a bad feeling in her heart, but given the current situation, she could only agree. She made up her mind that if Yin Qiu had any ill intentions toward her, she would rather die than let him have his way. Xian Yanqing nodded and followed Yin Qiu into the valley. Soon, the 2 of them walked another 5 or 6 miles. This place was filled with red flowers. These flowers were very strange. They were in the shape of snakes, like small snakes. Furthermore, they emitted an intoxicating fragrance. It was very pleasant to the smell. Along the way, Yin Qiu didn't do anything strange. Xian Yanqing gradually relaxed and walked slowly. However, Xian Yanqing gradually felt that something was wrong. She felt her body getting weaker and weaker. She was smart. She suddenly thought of something and her face turned pale. She ran a few steps forward and said, Yin Qiu, what did you do to me? Did you use poison on me? He. When Yin Qiu saw that Xian Yanqing's body was indeed weak, he laughed sinisterly and said, I didn't poison you, but this place is full of snake desire flowers. The pollen of snake desire flowers is equivalent to poison for people who can't use spiritual flame and spiritual origin. Anyone who smells it will feel weak all over. Ha ha ha. Yin Qiu laughed. What are you trying to do? Xian Yanqing kept retreating. She felt more and more weak. Hehe, what are you doing? Bitch, I don't care what status you have outside the underworld. Here, you better behave yourself. I want to marry you as a concubine because I think highly of you. You actually rejected me time and time again and even dared to scold me. Now, I'll let you know the consequences of rejecting me. Evil flames danced in Yin Qiu's eyes as his gaze wandered around Xian Yanqing's body. The flames in his eyes grew stronger and stronger. In your dreams, Xian Yanqing shouted. Her spine suddenly emitted a red glow. Immediately after, her body dashed forward, rushing towards the depths of the 10,000 Snakes Valley. Damn it! Yin Qiu angrily shouted. He hadn't expected that Xian Yanqing's Jin Yuan and spiritual fire would be sealed, but he was still able to display such a strange power. In a moment of carelessness, Xian Yanqing had run 100 meters away. Immediately, he chased after her with extreme speed. Xian Yanqing's Jin Yuan and spiritual fire were sealed. Her body was special, so she could borrow some of the power of her bloodline. However, it wasn't much. Before she could run a mile, the power of her bloodline dissipated. She felt her body grow weaker and weaker. She staggered and almost fell to the ground. Yin Qiu chased after her from behind. Hehe, let's see where you can run to. Wait a moment, I'll serve you well. After running for a while, Xian Yanqing was drenched in sweat. Her thin clothes were wet, causing them to stick tightly to her body. Her curves were even more soul-stirring. Yin Qiu's evil flames erupted. His entire body was hot and he couldn't help but swallow his saliva. Xian Yanqing's eyes revealed a trace of despair. She touched her waist and a small dagger appeared in her hand. She pressed it against her chest and looked at Yin Qiu resolutely. If you want to use force, I'll die. Yin Qiu stopped in his tracks. His face was gloomy as he coldly said, I don't believe that you'll throw away your life. After saying that, he strode forward. Lu Ming, you idiot. Where are you? Perhaps we won't be able to meet again. Xian Yanqing closed her eyes and stabbed the dagger in her hand into her chest. In the depths of the Thousand Snake Valley, Lu Ming took out a jade bottle and collected a cloud of blood mist. Then, he frowned. He didn't know why, but he had been feeling uneasy since just now. An inexplicable feeling of irritation appeared in his heart. This was somewhat inconceivable. At Lu Ming's current level, his martial heart was stable. Ordinary things wouldn't make Lu Ming feel irritable. However, he had been feeling inexplicably irritable since just now. He didn't know why. Kid, what's wrong with you? You're not in the right state. Dandan saw Lu Ming's state. I don't know why, but I've been feeling inexplicably irritable since just now. I keep feeling uneasy, Lu Ming said. Inexplicably irritable and uneasy? The deeper a martial artist's cultivation base is, the more they'll be connected to the laws of the unseen world. Therefore, any emotion won't be born without a reason. Something must be happening, Dandan said. Lu Ming nodded. In ancient times, there were some supreme experts who could even foresee some parts of the future. It was mysterious and unfathomable. Wait a moment. Dandan closed its eyes and waved its pair of front claws. Inscriptions were produced. After a while, Dandan suddenly opened its eyes and said anxiously, Not good, kid. Your little lover is in danger. What? Lu Ming was stunned, but he immediately reacted. Dandan was talking about Xian Yanqing. Little Qing, what's wrong with her? Where is she? Lu Ming asked hurriedly. Just a few miles away. Go quickly. It'll be too late if you don't. Dandan shouted. Whoosh. Without the slightest hesitation, Lu Ming burst out. His figure was like a bolt of lightning as he rushed out of the myriad snakes. Kaiyu's eyes moved. Inscriptions appeared on her body and formed a pair of wings. With a flap, she turned into a phantom and followed. Under Lu Ming's full strength, a few miles of distance only took a few breaths. When Lu Ming arrived, he was just in time to see Xian Yanqing's dagger stabbing at her heart. Blood flowed out. It was a shocking sight. Boom. At this moment, it was as if thunder had exploded in Lu Ming's mind. With just a glance at such a scene, he roughly knew what was going on. Little Qing, Lu Ming roared. His figure pounced at Xian Yanqing like a bolt of lightning. His true essence rolled up and wrapped around Xian Yanqing's arm, preventing her dagger from continuing to stab. However, Lu Ming was still a little slower. Xian Yanqing's dagger had already pierced through his flesh. A part of it had already pierced his heart. Fortunately, it wasn't too deep. Lu Ming hugged Xian Yanqing's slender waist. His true essence crazily poured into Xian Yanqing's body to protect Xian Yanqing's heart. Fool, you're here. I thought I'd never see you again. Xian Yanqing blinked her big eyes and stared at Lu Ming in a daze. She was afraid that all this was a dream. Don't speak, Lu Ming said. His true essence continued to pour in. His true essence was the battle dragon true essence. It had a strong vitality and successfully sealed Xian Yanqing's heart. At the same time, Xian Yanqing's wound was slowly healing. Chapter 710. Lu Ming's appearance stunned Yin Qiu. Seeing how close Xian Yanqing and Lu Ming were, Yin Qiu's eyes were filled with jealousy. He shouted coldly, Kid, who are you? She's my woman. Get out of my way. Whoosh. At this moment, Kaiyu arrived. Kaiyu, it's you? How dare you trespass into the Yin Snake Tribe's territory? You're courting death. Yin Qiu's eyes were filled with murderous intent when he saw Kaiyu. Yin Qiu. Kaiyu's face darkened when he saw Yin Qiu. Lu Ming raised his head and looked at Yin Qiu. A violent murderous intent erupted from his body. A cold voice came from Lu Ming's mouth. Today, you must die. Ha ha, kid, you want to kill me? Brat, just because you dare to hug my woman, I will definitely make you beg for death. Yin Qiu sneered. Kill. Lu Ming waved his hand and a giant wolf puppet appeared, pouncing towards Yin Q 4th level divine realm puppet. Yin Q's face changed slightly. He waved his hand and a giant snake puppet appeared. It was also a 4th level spiritual ocean puppet. The two puppets collided with one another and fought fiercely. Kill. Lu Ming held Xie Nianqing with one hand and took a big step forward. A terrifying fist aura exploded forward. Wherever the fist aura passed, the valley shook. As the fist aura passed by, the old vines around the valley exploded and some poisonous snakes turned into powder. Yin Q's face changed. A scroll appeared in his hand. After he opened it, a light shield appeared and covered Yin Q. On the light shield, there were a few poisonous snakes swimming around. Boom! The fist aura landed on the light shield. The light shield kept shaking, but it wasn't broken. Instead, it sent Yin Q flying. Damn it, kill! Yin Q landed on the ground and took out another scroll. As soon as he opened it, a giant snake that was dozens of meters long flew out and pounced towards Lu Ming. The infinite dragon spear appeared in his hand, and with a thrust, a 3-colored true dragon flew out and clashed with the giant snake. However, the tricolor true dragon was actually smashed apart by the giant snake and continued to fly towards Lu Ming. Lu Ming's expression changed slightly. This was obviously Liu Ji's inscription scroll. Its power was equivalent to the attack power of the 4th layer of the spiritual C tier. Roar. Kai Yu controlled the cheetah puppet and pounced forward, colliding with the giant snake. Whoosh. Whoosh. The sound of something flying through the air rang out. Old Kuei had arrived with the other 6 people. Elder Kuei, kill that brat. Capture Kai Yu and that little bitch alive. Yin Q shouted. Wang. Buzz. Above Elder Kuei's and the others' heads, powerful spiritual energy spread out and formed a terrifying spiritual energy storm. Giant snake puppets appeared in the air. Not good. That's a tier 5 divine level inscriber, Lu Ming. Let's leave quickly. Kai Yu's expression changed drastically. Elder Kuei was an inscription master equivalent to a 5th level spiritual sea realm cultivator. He had lit at least 4 blue spirit lamps. His puppet was also equivalent to a 5th level spiritual sea realm cultivator. Kai Yu, help me take care of Xiao Qing. Today, I must kill him. Lu Ming put down Xie Nianqing and pointed his spear at Yin Q. At this moment, Xie Nianqing was already fine and stood behind Lu Ming. Haha, brat, you can't even protect yourself, and you still want to kill me? You're really dreaming. I've changed my mind now. Elder Kuei, capture him alive. I want him to suffer a fate worse than death. Yin Q laughed loudly, his expression extremely ferocious. Hiss. Elder Kuei controlled the giant snake puppet and pounced towards Lu Ming. The snake's tongue was like a sword, piercing through the void. Kai Yu clenched his teeth and controlled the cheetah puppet to charge forward. However, before he could exchange 2 blows with the giant snake puppet, he was sent flying by the giant snake puppet. In addition, the other 6 people were also extremely powerful. The puppets they controlled were at least at the spiritual sea realm. There were even 2 giant snake puppets that were equivalent to a 4th level spiritual sea realm cultivator. Kai Yu's puppet was entangled by a 4th level spiritual sea realm giant snake puppet, while the other giant snake puppets charged towards Lu Ming. Lu Ming's glabella shone, with traces of lightning swimming around. He was prepared to control the thunder cauldron to deliver a fatal blow. Stomp! Stomp! Lu Ming controlled the giant wolf puppet to block in front of him. At the same time, he stomped on the ground crazily. Yah, watch me. Dandan landed on the ground and waved its claws non-stop. Ao, the gigantic wolf puppet was entangled by a gigantic snake. It kept howling, and sparks flew everywhere. That gigantic snake was old Kuei's puppet, and it was too strong. The gigantic wolf puppet kept exploding, and a series of banging sounds rang out. In the end, the giant wolf puppet was completely destroyed and turned into a pile of scrap metal. Kill! Lu Ming shouted. The inscription array appeared and formed a giant bow. An arrow shot towards Yin Q like a meteor. Watch me. Dandan waved her claws and countless inscriptions appeared. Countless vines appeared and wrapped around the 5 or 6 giant snake puppets, binding them tightly. Yin Qiu's expression changed. He took out another inscription scroll. After opening it, a battle sword flew out and slashed at Lu Ming's arrow. Kill. Let's use the inscription scroll together and kill that kid. Elder Kuei shouted coldly. An inscription scroll appeared in his hand. The others also had inscription scrolls in their hands. As soon as it was opened, all kinds of attacks poured towards Lu Ming. There were swords, sabers, ice, storms, etc. All of them were equivalent to the spiritual sea realm and above. Some of them were even at the 4th layer of the spiritual sea realm and above. They were too strong. Lu Ming couldn't block them at all. He would be turned into ashes in an instant. Lu Ming, Xian Yanqing and Kai Yu exclaimed. Die. Lu Ming's eyes were cold. Suddenly, a bright light spread out from his eyebrows. A giant cauldron flew out and lightning filled the air. The moment the cauldron flew out, Lu Ming's true origin was instantly absorbed. Even his life essence was sucked away. Using it once would cost him 50 years of life. But Lu Ming didn't care. Today, he must kill Yin Qiu. The thunder cauldron grew rapidly. Its terrifying power was vast and mighty, as if it could destroy the heavens and the earth. At this moment, everyone felt the fear of facing the heavens. Retreat! Retreat! Elder Kuei's pupils shrank rapidly as he frantically retreated. Not only him, but everyone else frantically retreated. At the same time, the inscription scrolls appeared and a light screen enveloped their bodies. Especially Yin Qiu. He opened the inscription scrolls as if they were free. At least 7 light screens enveloped his body. Boom! The thunder cauldron descended and pressed down. Endless power of lightning descended, destroying all life. Peng! Peng! Except for Elder Kuei and Yin Qiu, the other 6 died tragically. They were turned into ashes under the thunder cauldron. As for Elder Kuei and Yin Qiu, they were like withered leaves in the wind, constantly fluttering. The light screen on Yin Qiu's body was constantly destroyed. His face was full of horror and fear, twisted into a ball. Boom! The thunder cauldron fell and rapidly shrank. It flew back into Lu Ming's forehead and disappeared. The 10,000 Snake Valley was charred black. Whether it was the ancient trees, weeds, or poisonous snakes, they were all charred black as if they had experienced a lightning tribulation. Chapter 711. Kai Yu was dumbfounded. She did not expect that Lu Ming would suddenly summon a large cauldron and kill 6 experts of the Shadow Snake tribe with one strike. Moreover, Elder Kuei and Yin Qiu were heavily injured. She felt like she was in a dream. Huff! Lu Ming heaved a long sigh of relief and collapsed to the ground. Now, there was not a trace of true origin left in his body. Even his face was very pale, which was caused by his lifespan being sucked away. Lu Ming, are you all right? Xian Yanqing exclaimed softly and walked over to support Lu Ming. Her eyes were filled with worry. Xian Yanqing's body was strong and her life force was extremely vigorous. Now, the wound on her chest was slowly healing and was no longer a problem. Little Qing, help me over there. I want to kill them, Lu Ming said. Xian Yanqing nodded and helped Lu Ming forward. At this moment, Elder Kuei and Yin Qiu were lying on the ground like mud. They were already half dead. In such a situation, they naturally could not control the puppets. The giant snake puppets were all lying on the ground like statues, motionless. Kid, what are you trying to do? Let me tell you, I'm the young master of the Shadow Snake tribe. My father is the tribe leader of the Shadow Snake tribe. If you dare to kill me, you'll definitely die. Yin Qiu shouted. I said, you'll definitely die today, no matter who you are. You can't change the result. Lu Ming slowly walked forward with Xian Yanqing's help. Above his head, the green mind fire spread out. His body was weak and he could not use true origin. However, he could still use the mind fire. Kid, I advise you to let us go. Just now, I've already sent a message back. If you kill us, you'll have to wait for the Shadow Snake tribe's crazy revenge. At this moment, Elder Kuei sneered and struggled to move his body. A voice transmission jade talisman appeared in his hand. Haha, Elder Kuei, well done. Yin Qiu roared with laughter, then he looked at Lu Ming and shouted, Brat, my father has already received the news. You're dead for sure. Now, if you cripple your own arms and legs and give that bitch to me obediently and serve me, I might spare your lives. Little Qing, I can't move right now. I can't even inscribe inscriptions. I'll leave these two to you. Lu Ming spoke to Xian Yanqing as if he hadn't heard Elder Kuei and Yin Qiu's words. All right. Xian Yanqing helped Lu Ming sit down. Holding the dagger in his hand, he walked towards Elder Kuei first. Bitch, what are you trying to do? Yin Qiu roared. You dare. Elder Kuei roared. Xian Yanqing remained unmoved and strode forward. Kai Yu came to Lu Ming's side, wanting to say something but hesitated. Poochie. Xian Yanqing arrived in front of Elder Kuei and swung his dagger. Elder Kuei's head flew far away. Then, he walked towards Yin Qiu. No, don't come over. Yin Qiu was terrified, and his face was filled with fear. He didn't expect that Lu Ming and Xian Yanqing would still dare to kill them after knowing that they had been sent back to the Shadow Snake tribe. Where did they get the courage to do so? One had to know that the Shadow Snake tribe was the strongest tribe in the surrounding area. You should have expected this day. Xian Yanqing's eyes were filled with killing intent. His dagger flashed and Yin Qiu's head fell to the ground. The Shadow Snake tribe was all dead. Lu Ming, we have to leave this place quickly. The experts of the Shadow Snake tribe will be here soon, Kai Yu said. All right. Lu Ming nodded. Kai Yu put away the intact giant snake puppets, then controlled the cheetah puppet to carry Lu Ming and Xian Yanqing towards the red leopard tribe. Lu Ming sat cross-legged on the cheetah puppet's back and continuously circulated the true dragon battle arts to recover his true origin. The side effects of using the thunder cauldron were too obvious. He lost all his true origin and felt weak all over. Even if he still had his mental strength, he couldn't even inscribe inscriptions, which was equivalent to being powerless and at the mercy of others. Moreover, after using the thunder cauldron this time, he had a rough understanding of its power. The stronger his cultivation, the stronger the power of the thunder cauldron after absorbing true origin and essence chi. With his current cultivation, using the thunder cauldron should be able to cause a fatal threat to an expert in the fourth layer of the spiritual ocean tier. But he might not be able to kill them. Just now, in the Yin Snake tribe, there were 2 inscriptionists equivalent to the 4th layer of the spiritual ocean tier. The reason why he was able to kill them in one blow was because those inscriptionists used their mental strength to control the puppets, and the puppets were entangled by Dandan's array and couldn't turn back to help. They could only rely on inscription talismans to resist, and their defensive power was naturally greatly reduced, which was why they were killed by Lu Ming in one blow. Under normal circumstances, he could at most heavily injure an expert in the 4th layer of the spiritual ocean tier, but couldn't kill them. As for the 5th layer of the spiritual ocean tier, he could probably only lightly injure them. Of course, if Lu Ming could step into the spiritual ocean tier, his thunder concept and true origin would increase explosively, and the power of controlling the thunder cauldron would also increase crazily. Aya, I'm so tired. I accumulated so much energy, and it's all used up in one go. Kid, this time, you have to compensate me well. Dandan laid on Lu Ming's shoulder and kept rolling his eyes. In the 10,000 Snake Valley, just a few hours after they left, a gust of wind blew, and a dozen experts rode on giant snake puppets and arrived here. The person in the lead was a middle-aged skinny man with a poisonous snake coiled around his neck. After they arrived, they quickly rushed into the depths of the 10,000 Snake Valley. Soon, an earth-shattering roar was heard. Kid from the outside world, Red Leopard tribe, kill, kill, kill. The voice rolled, containing endless killing intent. Even many of the poisonous snakes in the 10,000 Snake Valley trembled and shrank back into their caves. Lu Ming and the others returned to the Red Leopard tribe, and Lu Ming used all his strength to recover his cultivation. At this time, Lu Ming had already recovered a trace of true origin in his dantian. Then, he took out a large amount of supreme-grade spirit crystals and devoured the energy in them to recover his cultivation. With a trace of true origin, Lu Ming's recovery speed greatly increased. As soon as Kai Yu returned to the Red Leopard tribe, he went to find Kai Jinkong to report the situation. What? Lu Ming killed Yin Qiu? In a hall, Kai Jinkong's shocked voice was heard. Yes, father. What should we do now? Kai Yu stood in front of Kai Jinkong and asked. Kai Jinkong's face was solemn, and his brows were tightly knitted together. He said, Yin Buhai only has one son, and he has always doted on him. Now that Yin Qiu has been killed, I'm afraid he'll go crazy and seek revenge. Pass down the order to strengthen the defenses. Also, I'll inform the elders to come here for a meeting. The atmosphere in the Red Leopard tribe was tense, and Lu Ming was still trying his best to recover. Half a day after returning to the Red Leopard tribe, his true origin had finally recovered to its peak. Xiao Qing, let me undo the seal on your hands and feet. Walking out of the room, Lu Ming saw Xian Yanqing. Now, Xian Yanqing's injuries were much better, and he was almost fully recovered. Dummy, are you all right? Xian Yanqing looked at Lu Ming with concern. I'm fine. Lu Ming walked over and held Xian Yanqing's small hand in front of his eyes, and observed the seal ring on her wrist. Chapter 7:12. After a while, Lu Ming's finger moved in the air. Lines of inscriptions appeared and then disappeared into the ring on Xian Yanqing's hand. Beautiful inscriptions appeared on the surface of the ring, and 2 poisonous snakes rushed out. The poisonous snakes collapsed in the air. Lu Ming held the ring and shook it with his true yuan. The ring broke into pieces. Then, Lu Ming did the same thing and untied all the other rings on Xian Yanqing's body. Boom! As soon as the rings were untied, Xian Yanqing's body emitted a strong aura. Then, it slowly disappeared. Idiot, you saved my life this time, so I take back my previous promise, Xian Yanqing said. What promise? Lu Ming was surprised. Of course, the promise to trample you under my feet, idiot. Xian Yanqing blinked her big eyes and rolled her eyes at Lu Ming. Her face revealed a smile. Lu Ming smiled bitterly and touched his nose. He was speechless. Then, his eyes flashed. He stretched out his arm and held Xian Yanqing's slender waist. He said, You saved my life. Shouldn't I repay you with my body? Why don't you repay me now? Feeling the heat from Lu Ming's arm, Xian Yanqing's face reddened. Her true qi burst out and she broke free. She said, Repay me with my body? You wish. Seeing that Lu Ming was depressed, Xian Yanqing smiled and said, However, it's not impossible. It depends on your performance in the future. Really? Lu Ming's eyes lit up. Not really. Xian Yanqing smiled and then asked about Lu Ming's experience in the past few days. They chatted with each other. In the Red Leopard tribe's meeting hall, the atmosphere was extremely depressing. Tribe leader, there's a report from the front. The Yin Snake tribe has sent out an army and is rushing towards us. Someone reported. Pass down the order. Don't resist at the front line. Pull back all the troops and retreat to the ancient city. Kai Jin Kong ordered. He then turned to the elders and said, Elders, follow me to the city gate to welcome Yin Buhai. Afterwards, Kai Jin Kong and the elders of the Red Leopard tribe arrived at the western city gate of the ancient city. At this moment, there was already an army stationed around the city gate. About a few hours later, the wind howled, and a faint sound rang out between heaven and earth. Countless giant snake puppets appeared in the sky and on the ground. Each of the giant snake puppets had 1 to 2 people sitting on them. At a glance, there were at least tens of thousands of giant snake puppets, densely packed and filling the entire sky. On the Red Leopard tribe's side, dazzling inscriptions appeared on the city walls. Various powerful defensive formations and offensive formations appeared. At the same time, the warriors of the Red Leopard tribe narked their arrows. The runes on the arrows shone brightly. A great battle was about to break out. The tribe leader of the Yin Snake tribe, Yin Buhai, walked out and stood in the void. A poisonous snake coiled around his neck and flicked its tongue. Yin Buhai's eyes emitted cold, killing intent. He looked at Kai Jinkong and said, Kai Jinkong, your daughter Kai Yu and 2 outsiders are despicable and shameless. They sneaked into the territory of the Yin Snake tribe and ambushed and killed my son Yin Qiu. Now, hand them over and I'll retreat and let the Red Leopard tribe go. Haha, Yin Buhai, you're really good at talking nonsense. I heard that your son wanted to defile someone's girlfriend and was killed in anger. He was killed in a frontal attack. How can you say that it was a sneak attack? Kai Jinkong laughed. Humph, what defile? That bitch should be honored that my son likes her. Their lives are nothing compared to my son's. How can you compare to my son? Kai Jinkong, I advise you to look at the situation clearly. Don't bring about the destruction of your red leopard tribe. Yin Buhai said coldly. That's impossible. Kai Jinkong answered without hesitation. Yin Buhai frowned, and his face turned gloomy. His eyes flickered, and he said, How about this, Kai Jinkong? I know you can't bear to part with your daughter. I don't want you to hand over Kai Yu. As long as you hand over the two people from the outside world, I will retreat. Impossible. Kai Jinkong answered with the same words. Yin Buhai's face darkened completely. He said, Kai Jinkong, don't refuse a toast only to be forced to drink a forfeit. I'll give you 3 days to discuss this. After 3 days, if you don't hand over the two outsiders, I'll lead the army to flatten the Red Leopard tribe. I'll wipe out the Red Leopard tribe forever. After saying that, Yin Buhai waved his hand and left with his men. Soon, the army of the Yin Snake tribe retreated. Yin Buhai was not afraid of the Red Leopard tribe. He had mobilized the army in a hurry and they were not strong enough. If he attacked the Red Leopard tribe rashly, both sides would suffer great losses. He also needed time to gather more power. After the Yin Snake tribe retreated, Kai Jinkong heaved a sigh of relief. Pass down my order. Gather all the forces of the Red Leopard tribe and guard the ancient city. Elders, follow me to the meeting hall. Kai Jinkong ordered. After a while, the meeting hall of the Red Leopard tribe was filled with more than 20 people. Not only were the elders of the Red Leopard tribe there, but many ordinary elders were also there. Tribe leader, I think we should just hand over the 2 young men. Why do we have to start a war with the Yin Snake tribe for 2 outsiders? Yes, tribe leader. Those 2 young men overestimated themselves and dared to kill Yin Q. They were digging their own graves. We can't implicate the Red Leopard tribe for 2 outsiders. Some ordinary elders persuaded Kai Jinkong to hand over Lu Ming and Xian Yanqing. No. Kai Jinkong's voice was heard. No. Tribe leader, why not? Some of the elders asked in confusion. At this point, I won't hide it from you. Lu Ming was able to crack the array that sealed the previous clan leader. Now, he has already cracked 100 array formations. There are only 36 array formations left. He will be able to crack all of them in a few days. By then, we will be able to find the inscription secret manual of our tribe and return our Red Leopard tribe to its peak. Kai Jinkong said. His voice swept across the place like a storm. What? Is that true? Many of the elders were astounded, before falling silent. They finally knew why Kai Jinkong wanted to protect Lu Ming. It was related to the rise and fall of the Red Leopard tribe. Tribe leader, I don't think so. A voice was heard. It was Kai Jinkong. He had been summoned back for a meeting after such a serious incident. Kai Jinkong walked out and said loudly, there are only 36 formations left. We don't know if Lu Ming can crack them. Besides, even if he does, we will get the secret book of inscription. So what? The Yin Snake tribe will destroy our tribe before we can rise. I think we should hand over Lu Ming and that woman to stabilize the Yin Snake tribe. That way, we can at least prevent our tribe from being destroyed. Kai Jinkong's words made many elders ponder. Indeed, Kai Jinkong's words were reasonable. What was the point of getting the secret book of inscription if the tribe was destroyed? Chapter 713. Seeing everyone's expression, Kai Jinshan had a smug look on his face as he continued, moreover, there are only 36 sealing arrays left. As long as we hand over Lu Ming and that lady, we can stabilize the Yin Snake tribe and slowly think of ways to crack the last 36 arrays. This is the best plan. That's right, Elder Kai Jinshan is right. An elder spoke, supporting Kai Jinshan's words. Kai Jinshan's eyes flashed with excitement. I object. Our tribe is indebted to Lu Ming. If we treat someone who is indebted to us in this way, how will others view our tribe in the future? Moreover, The most important thing now is the awakening of the ancient ancestor. As long as we stop the attack of the Shadow Snake tribe, we will enter a period of truce. If Lu Ming can awaken the ancient ancestor will definitely value our tribe. That's the foundation of our rise. Kai Yu's second uncle, Kai Jintian, said. That's right, I agree with second brother, Kai Jingkong said. Second brother, Patriarch, you think too highly of Lu Ming. This time, there are many outsiders. How do you know that Lu Ming is the destined one? We can't bet the fate of our tribe on such a small possibility. Now, we have to deal with the Shadow Snake tribe. Protecting our tribe is the key, Kai Jinshan said loudly. Many people nodded their heads. What if I can destroy the Shadow Snake tribe? Suddenly, a voice came from outside the main hall, causing everyone's heart to tremble. Everyone's gaze involuntarily turned towards the outside of the main hall. 3 youthful figures walked in. Lu Ming, Xian Yanqing, and Kai Yu. The words just now were spoken by Lu Ming. This is our tribe's meeting hall. How can you bring 2 outsiders in? Kai Jinshan scolded. Don't worry. Lu Ming is our benefactor. You can come in to discuss. Kai Jingkong waved his hand, causing Kai Jinshan's face to darken. Kai Jinshan looked at Lu Ming and said, Lu Ming, what did you just say? Can you destroy the Shadow Snake tribe? Not bad. Lu Ming nodded. Ha ha ha. What shameless boasting. You're just a heaven-rank inscription master? To be able to exterminate the Shadow Snake tribe, brat, do you know how strong the Shadow Snake tribe is? What a joke. Kai Jinshan laughed loudly, revealing a mocking expression. Hehe, I remember you also said that I was boasting shamelessly. How could a mere Tian realm break the seal? How did I break it in the end? Lu Ming replied indifferently. Kai Jinshan's face turned red. Back then, he had indeed said such words. But reality proved that his words were nothing but nonsense. This matter and the matter of breaking the seal are 2 completely different matters. The Shadow Snake tribe is incomparably powerful, and reigns supreme over 10 tribes in the surrounding area. How could it be destroyed so easily? Kai Jinshan scolded coldly. Of course I have my ways, Lu Ming said. If you have an idea, why don't you share it with us so that we can see if your idea will work? Kai Jinshan said. I can't tell you now. Even if I do, I'll only tell the Patriarch. Lu Ming said. You're just trying to stall for time. Why would you say such nonsense? Kai Jinshan snapped. Because I don't trust you. Lu Ming's eyes turned cold. What? Kid, what do you mean by that? How dare you slander me? I'll kill you right now. Kai Jinshan roared furiously. That's enough, 6th brother, back off. I trust Lu Ming. At that instant, Kai Jinshan spoke with an unquestionable tone. I trust Lu Ming too. Me too. Kai Jintian and the other elders spoke one after another. Kai Jinshan and a few elders with great authority spoke, causing the others to fall silent. Thank you for your trust. Patriarch, can you ask the others to back off? Senior Kai Jinshan and the elders can stay. I have a plan to eliminate the Shadow Snake tribe. Lu Ming said. All right, all of you back off. Kai Jinshan waved his hand, leaving no room for doubt. Kai Jinshan's face turned ghastly pale. He gritted his teeth and backed off. Soon, only Kai Jinshan, and a few elders were left in the hall. Of course, Kai Yu and Xian Yanqing were also there. Lu Ming, do you have a plan to eliminate the Shadow Snake tribe? Kai Jinshan's eyes flashed with hope. He would be satisfied as long as he could stop the attack of the Shadow Snake tribe, let alone eliminate them. Patriarch, if the Shadow Snake tribe attacks the Red Leopard tribe, should they attack from the sky or from the ground? Lu Ming did not answer the question. Of course from the ground. If they attack from the sky, they will be covered by our arrows. They can't inscribe formations in the sky to resist the arrows. If they use inscription talismans, they won't be able to afford it. If they attack from the ground, they can cooperate with each other. One person can control the puppets and the other can inscribe formations to resist our arrows. At the same time, they can shoot arrows to fight back. Kai Jinshan explained. Lu Ming smiled and said, "That's good. If I have a way to cut off the connection between the people of the Shadow Snake tribe and the puppets, are you sure you can defeat the Shadow Snake tribe?" "What? Cut off the connection between the people of the Shadow Snake tribe and the puppets?" Kai Jinshan's eyes were blazing with fire. The others were almost the same. "If we can do that, we can lead the puppet army and annihilate the Shadow Snake tribe." Kai Jinshan's eyes were extremely bright. He stared at Lu Ming. If they could really annihilate the Shadow Snake tribe, the prestige of the Red Leopard tribe would definitely soar and their strength would improve rapidly. "That's good. I know a formation. As long as it is set up, the puppets controlled by the enemy can enter the formation and cut off the connection between the people and the puppets. As long as the formation is set up outside the ancient city, the Shadow Snake tribe will die if they attack." Lu Ming smiled confidently. "There is such a wonderful formation." Kai Jinshan was shocked. He then frowned and said, "If that's the case, won't the people of my tribe be cut off from the puppets when they rush in?" "Don't worry. I have a little trick to control the puppets. After using it, you can avoid being cut off from the puppets by the formation. It's very easy to learn. You can learn it in a few hours." Lu Ming took out a jade badge and gave it to Kai Jinshan. He said, "Patriarch, you can teach this little trick to some of your trusted subordinates. But don't tell them what it's used for. It will be troublesome if it's spread." "Good, good, haha." Kai Jinshan took it and laughed excitedly. The others were also very excited. "There's no time to lose. I'll go and carve the formation now. But Patriarch, you'd better keep an eye on the elder of Kai Jinshan." Lu Ming seemed to be implying something. Kai Jinshan's eyes flickered. He said thoughtfully, "Don't worry. I know what to do." Chapter 714. Of course, Dandan had told him about the formation. It was indeed mysterious and was an ancient formation that had been extinct for a long time. However, the formation had a shortcoming. It was too complicated to inscribe and would take a long time. It could not be activated instantly and was only useful against puppets. Hence, it had slowly disappeared in the long river of history. However, it was suitable for the current situation. Lu Ming walked out of the west gate and started to inscribe the formation. Lines of complicated inscriptions sank into the ground and disappeared. Time passed slowly. The Red Leopard tribe began to call back their forces to guard their headquarters. The Shadow Snake tribe also began to gather their forces to prepare for the war. The surrounding tribes were waiting and watching. Even if the Shadow Snake tribe could destroy the Red Leopard tribe, they would definitely suffer losses. The other tribes would sit on the mountain and watch the tigers fight. Soon, 3 days had passed. On the third day, Lu Ming, Xian Yanqing, Kai Yu, Kai Jinkong and the others stood on the city wall. There were people everywhere on the city wall. In the sky above the ancient city, many people summoned puppets and sat on the backs of the puppets, floating in the sky. "They're here!" Kai Jinkong suddenly shouted. In the sky, 3 gigantic snake puppets flew towards them. They were Yin Buhai and the 2 elders of the Yin snake tribe. Even more members of the Shadow Snake tribe's army rode on giant snake puppets and appeared behind them on the ground. Yin Buhai and the 2 elders stopped a few miles away in the sky. "Boy, did you kill my son?" The first thing Yin Buhai did was look at Lu Ming. His voice was cold and emotionless. Yes, he deserved to die. Lu Ming's reply was simple. "Good, very good. Boy, I swear that I will make you suffer the most painful torture in the world. I will make you face the dilemma of life and death." Yin Buhai's eyes were terrifyingly gloomy like a poisonous snake. Then, he looked at Kai Jinkong and said, "Kai Jinkong, it seems like you don't want to hand him over. Do you want the entire Red Leopard tribe to die with this boy? Try me if you dare." Kai Jinkong said. His attitude was very clear. "Good, very good. It seems like you have forgotten the dignity of the Shadow Serpent tribe because we haven't attacked for a few years. Since that's the case, the Red Leopard tribe shall be destroyed." Yin Buhai's voice spread far and wide. As soon as he said the words "should be destroyed," shocking battle cries came from behind him. "Kill! Flatten the Red Leopard tribe! Kill all the men!" Leave the young women behind. The people of the Shadow Snake tribe shouted one after another as they controlled the giant snake puppets to continue charging towards the ancient city of the Red Leopard tribe along the ground. There were too many people. There were at least 20,000 giant snake puppets, and each of them had 2 people sitting on them. One of them was inscribing defensive formations while the other was controlling the puppets and shooting arrows at the same time. Bow and arrow ready. Kaijin waved his hand. Instantly, tens of thousands of people narked their arrows. Release. The golden empty-handed hand waved again. Whoosh, whoosh, whoosh. A dense rain of arrows shot towards the Shadow Snake tribe's army in the distance. Every arrow had a talisman stuck on it. There were powerful explosive talismans and gale talismans that could increase speed and penetration. More than 10,000 arrows were densely packed, covering the sky and the sun. In the army of the Shadow Snake tribe, inscription formations shone, and light shields appeared one after another, enveloping the puppets and people. At the same time, some people also drew their bows and shot arrows at the Red Leopard tribe. Similarly, the ancient city chief of the Red Leopard tribe also shone with an inscription formation. Boom! Boom! Explosions rang out endlessly, and the ground trembled and swayed continuously. This was a battle between inscriptionists. It was completely different from a battle between martial artists. However, the momentum was not small at all. However, the Shadow Snake tribe had more people and more experts. They kept pushing forward and shooting arrows. The Red Leopard tribe was already at a disadvantage. Summon the puppets and prepare for battle, Kaijin Kong ordered. The defensive light shield formed by the inscription formation on the ancient city was shaking and would not last long. More and more leopard puppets appeared on the city wall and in the sky. The army of the Shadow Snake tribe was getting closer and closer. They were only a few miles away from the ancient city of the Red Leopard tribe. Lu Ming stood on the city wall and glanced into the distance. It's about time. Suddenly, Lu Ming whispered. His hands suddenly shone with a green light and started to inscribe in the air. In the end, it turned into an inscription formation and landed on the ground outside the city wall. Formation, rise. Lu Ming shouted. Buzz. At this moment, the entire ground seemed to tremble. Then, countless inscriptions appeared on the ground. One formation after another, there was no telling how many of them there were. They covered an area of 30 miles in both length and width. Yes, Lu Ming had spent 3 days and tried his best to inscribe the formation in the area of 30 miles. Almost all of the Shadow Snake tribe was covered. At this moment, the Shadow Snake tribe was in an uproar. What's going on? Why can't I control the puppets? Me too. It seems that my connection with the puppets has been cut off. How can this be? Let me try. I can't control them either. All kinds of horrified cries were heard. Those who were only inscribing formations to help summoned their puppets, but the result was the same. They were all cut off from the puppets. The tens of thousands of giant snake puppets stood there motionlessly like stones. Kill. Kill. Puppet army, kill them. Kai Jinkong's eyes shone brightly when he saw this, and his eyes flashed with extreme excitement. He knew that he had made the right bet. He took the lead and rushed out of the city. As for those who had been secretly imparted with Lu Ming's puppet manipulation techniques, all of them followed Kai Jinkong. They rode the cheetah puppet and dashed outside. There were 8,000 people in this army. Each of them had a leopard puppet. They were the real elites of the Red Leopard tribe. Originally, there were only 8,000 people, but the Shadow Snake tribe sent out 40,000 elites. They were no match for them at all. But now, the puppets of the Shadow Snake tribe could not be controlled. They could only fight with inscriptions and inscriptions. Their combat strength was much weaker. There was a huge difference between the combat strength of the puppets and the ones without. Kai Jinkong led the 8,000 troops and rushed into the army of the Shadow Snake tribe. Suddenly, all kinds of roars and screams were heard. It was completely one-sided. Although the people of the Shadow Snake tribe tried their best to resist, it was still one-sided. Without the puppets, they lost their most powerful weapon. The people of the Red Leopard tribe controlled the puppets and fought desperately. Chapter 7:15. Ah, how could this be? How could this be? In the sky, Yin Buhai roared in disbelief. Kill. Several elders of the Red Leopard tribe controlled their puppets and flew into the sky, charging toward Yin Buhai and the others. The remaining elders cooperated with Kai Jinkong to kill some of the experts of the Shadow Snake tribe. The rest of you, control your puppets and surround them in the sky. Kill anyone who tries to escape. Kai Jinkong gave the order from the city wall. There were at least 10,000 people of the Red Leopard tribe who controlled their puppets and flew into the sky to surround the people of the Shadow Snake tribe. Lu Ming stood on the city wall and did not take any action. The outcome of the battle was clear and there was no need for him to take any action. Moreover, he didn't have any desire to attack. He discovered that the essence blood of an inscription master contained a very limited amount of essence blood. It was also of limited help to him. Only martial Dao experts or powerful demonic beasts would have extremely powerful essence blood. This made sense. Inscription masters mainly cultivated spirit flames, so their physique and vital energy naturally couldn't be compared to experts in the martial Dao. The battle cries resounded through the sky. There were still many people on the Red Leopard ancient city, but most of them had low cultivation and did not have any puppets. Therefore, they did not participate in the battle and only guarded the city wall. As time passed, the battle cries gradually weakened. The air was filled with the smell of blood and the ground was covered with corpses. The battle lasted for 2 hours before it completely quieted down. The army of the Shadow Snake tribe was almost completely annihilated. Only a few elders with powerful cultivation managed to escape, but they were also severely injured. Even Yin Buhai was severely injured and captured. He was severely injured under the siege of the elders of the Red Leopard tribe. In fact, the Red Leopard tribe's combat power was not much weaker than the Shadow Snake tribe. These experts had risen to power 60 years ago. Bam! Yin Buhai was thrown on the city wall beside Lu Ming's feet. Brother Lu Ming, I'll leave Yin Buhai to you, an elder of the Red Leopard tribe said. At this moment, the elders of the Red Leopard tribe looked at Lu Ming with gratitude and respect. This battle was all because of Lu Ming. Otherwise, the result would be completely different. How could this be? How could your Red Leopard tribe have such a powerful formation that can sever the connection between humans and puppets? I've never heard of it before. Yin Buhai shouted. This formation was created by me, Lu Ming said coldly as he looked at Yin Buhai. It's you. It's you again, ha ha ha, could it be that the heavens want my Yin Snake tribe to perish? Yin Buhai shouted unwillingly. This is called reaping what you sowed. Little Qing fell into the hands of your Shadow Snake tribe. If you had treated her well, how could there have been such a disaster? Lu Ming said coldly. Yin Buhai looked at Xian Yanqing and burst into laughter. His laughter was filled with mixed emotions. No one knew whether it was regret or unwillingness. Treat her well. Their Shadow Snake tribe dominated the surrounding dozens of tribes. They were used to being rude and unreasonable. Bullying happened every day in the Shadow Snake tribe. After so many years, the Shadow Snake tribe was still getting more and more prosperous. Nothing happened. Who would have thought that because of a Xian Yanqing, he would provoke someone he shouldn't have? He could only say that he was just unlucky. Bam! Lu Ming took a step forward and a combat sword was formed. He nailed Yin Buhai to the city wall and his storage ring fell into Lu Ming's hands. Warriors of the Red Leopard tribe, follow me and attack the ancient city of the Yin Snake tribe. Kai Jinkong's voice reverberated throughout the area. This time, the Yin Snake tribe had sent out 40,000 elite troops. They wanted to flatten the Red Leopard tribe in one fell swoop. Their defense was definitely the weakest in the ancient city. Now was the best time to attack. We are willing to follow the tribe leader and flatten the Yin Snake tribe. The warriors of the Red Leopard tribe shouted. Then, more than 10,000 troops controlled the puppets and charged towards the Yin Snake tribe. Lu Ming did not participate in this battle. He returned to the ancient city with Xian Yanqing and cultivated in seclusion. The elites of the Yin snake tribe had been annihilated. Even Yin Buhai was dead. The outcome of this battle was almost predictable. In the Temple of Paragon, Lu Ming placed the Enlightenment ancient tree beside him. He held a profound earth crystal in his hand. Lu Ming had obtained many kinds of profound earth crystals in the small island in the heaven boundary. The number was not less than the number of profound earth crystals. Now, the force of earth had merged with the three essences. It was time to upgrade it. There were 9 common essences of heaven and earth: wind, fire, water, metal, wood, lightning, ice, earth and mountain. The intent of earth was similar to the intent of earth and mountain, but it was more advanced. It could be said to be the evolved version of the intent of earth and mountain. It was a special intent realm that was full of vicissitudes and ancient vicissitudes. Not only was its offensive power shocking, but its defensive power was also terrifying. It was an extremely powerful intent realm. Now, he was only at the beginning stage of the force of earth. He could not display its full power. When Lu Ming upgraded it, the power it could display would be terrifying. Crack. Crushing a profound earth crystal, Lu Ming began to cultivate. 3 days later, Lu Ming consumed a total of 30 profound earth crystals to cultivate the force of earth to the major completion stage. He was only a step away from the great completion stage. Obviously, the force of earth was harder to cultivate than the 9 common essences. At this time, Lu Ming ended his cultivation. In these 3 days, Kai Jinkong had led the army to fight outside. Now, he had finally returned. The Shadow Snake tribe had been annihilated. The ancient city had been destroyed by the Red Leopard tribe. Many people had surrendered to the Red Leopard tribe, especially the land that had been occupied by the Shadow Snake tribe. The Red Leopard tribe's people who had been enslaved by the Shadow Snake tribe had all returned to the Red Leopard tribe. In a short time, the Red Leopard tribe's strength had increased greatly. The surrounding tribes all turned pale with fright. Never in their wildest dreams would they have thought that the extremely powerful Shadow Snake tribe would actually be annihilated. Immediately, those tribes strengthened their defenses, especially those who had enmity with the Red Leopard tribe. They were even more alarmed and their defenses were strengthened several times. The Red Leopard tribe held a grand celebration. During the celebration, Kai Jinkong and the other leaders of the Red Leopard tribe thanked Lu Ming in front of everyone. This battle was all because of Lu Ming. Many people secretly rejoiced that they had chosen to believe in Lu Ming. Otherwise, how could there be such a result? The Red Leopard tribe had been suppressed since the previous patriarch was killed and sealed. After being suppressed for so many years, they finally had a feeling of exultation. Naturally, they were excited. Everyone was happy, but there were 2 people who were not happy, and that was Kai Jinshan and Kai Feng. Damn it, how could it be like this? Kai Jinshan growled, his fists were clenched so tightly that cracking sounds could be heard. His eyes were fixed on Lu Ming. If looks could kill, Lu Ming would have been pierced by thousands of holes. Lu Ming frowned as if he had sensed something. He suddenly turned his head to look at Kai Jinshan. Kai Jinshan was startled and hurriedly turned his head. The corner of Lu Ming's mouth curled up into a cold smile. Lu Ming, I knew I wasn't wrong. When I first saw you, I knew you were the legendary man of destiny. Chapter 7:16. We haven't reached the sacred mountain yet. It's too early to say that I'm the chosen one. I don't know how to awaken your ancient ancestor. Lu Ming smiled. Lu Ming, don't be humble. I have a feeling that you're the only one who can awaken the ancient ancestor in this trip to the sacred mountain. To be honest, if it weren't for the fact that you're an outsider and have to return one day, and that you have such a beautiful confidant like Miss Xie, I really want to keep you by my side and be my man. Kai Yu blinked her big eyes and spoke very directly. Cough cough. Lu Ming kept coughing. He didn't expect Kai Yu to be so direct. Indeed, the underground humans were different from the outside world. On the side, Xian Yanqing's face turned slightly red as she said, I'm not his confidant. Miss Kai Yu, please keep him as your man. This pervert will definitely be willing. Is that so? Then I won't be polite. Kai Yu giggled and glanced at Lu Ming and Xian Yanqing. Pervert, hurry up and agree. Xian Yanqing stared at Lu Ming with his big eyes. Every sentence and every word was especially heavy. Ah, haha, this wine is really delicious. Haha, the moonlight today is really beautiful. Lu Ming picked up a cup of wine and took a big gulp. He laughed awkwardly. However, this was the underground world. Where did the moonlight come from? 2 days later, Lu Ming, Xian Yanqing, Kai Yu, Kai Jinkong, Kai Jinshan, and a few elders of the Red Leopard tribe gathered at the canyon where the previous Red Leopard tribe leader was sealed. The Crimson Blood Sand and Viper Blood Mist were ready. Now, they could break the last 36 sealing formations. Lu Ming strode forward and waved his hand. A cloud of crimson blood sand floated in the air. Then, he took out a jade bottle that contained the Viper Blood Mist. He opened the jade bottle and the crimson blood mist flew out and mixed with the crimson blood sand. Then, Lu Ming's finger moved rapidly in the air. It was so fast that after images appeared in the air. Whoosh, whoosh. Inscriptions attached themselves to the scarlet blood sand and the Viper Blood Mist and flew into the sealing formation in front of them. Everyone held their breaths and watched quietly. Kai Jinkong and the others had expectant looks in their eyes. However, there was one exception, and that was Kai Jinshan. His eyes were filled with anxiety, and his gaze flickered. Wang. The sealing formation flickered, and a huge 7-colored poisonous snake pounced out. However, the 7-colored poisonous snake was shrouded in a layer of blood-red mist. Bang! The 7-colored poisonous snake collapsed in midair. The first of the last 36 great formations had been broken. Lu Ming continued to decipher. His fingers continuously moved, and the scarlet blood sand and the Viper Blood Mist were continuously consumed. Not long after, the second formation was broken. Just like this, one great formation after another was broken by Lu Ming. Lu Ming had to sit down cross-legged to recover his spiritual fire every time he cracked 9 formations. In the blink of an eye, 2 days had passed. There was only one formation left in the 36 great formations. Kai Jinshan and the others widened their eyes and stared at it. Their eyes were filled with excitement, and even their breathing became heavy. Kai Jinshan clenched his fists and slowly moved to the front, close to Lu Ming's position. As Lu Ming's finger moved, inscriptions fell on the ground one after another. Hiss! This time, a total of 3 7-colored poisonous snakes flew out and collapsed in midair. The seal is broken. God bless my Red Leopard tribe. Kai Jinshan shouted and was the first to move. He rushed directly into the valley. Lu Ming's eyes turned cold. He took a step forward, and a vine rushed out and entangled Kai Jinshan. What's going on? Lu Ming, it's you. What are you doing? Kai Jinshan roared. Why are you in such a hurry? Lu Ming sneered and rushed into the valley. Kai Jinshan roared. A puppet appeared and broke the vines. He also rushed in. At the same time, Kai Jinshan and the others also rushed into the valley. The valley was not big. Not long after they rushed in, Lu Ming saw a skeleton sitting cross-legged against the wall. Lu Ming saw at a glance that the skeleton was holding a jade pendant in one of its claws. There was also a storage ring on its finger. Get lost. Kai Jinshan roared. Lu Ming sneered. His genuine vitality swept out and took the jade pendant from the skeleton's storage ring into his hand. Lu Ming, what are you doing? You want to steal the treasure of the previous tribe leader? You're courting death. Kai Jinshan's eyes turned cold. He controlled the puppet and charged at Lu Ming. Clang. At this time, another puppet rushed out and blocked Kai Jinshan's puppet. It was Kai Jinshan's turn. Tribe leader, don't block me. You should have seen that this kid has ulterior motives. He wants to steal the treasures of the previous tribe leader. Kai Jinshan roared. Kai Jinshan, why are you in such a hurry? Who said that I want to steal the treasures of the previous tribe leader? I'm just handing it to the tribe leader. Lu Ming waved his hand and the jade pendant and storage ring flew to Kai Jinshan. Kai Jinshan caught it in his hand. Tribe leader Kai, that jade pendant should be left behind by the previous tribe leader before his death. It should contain some important information. Why don't you take a look? Lu Ming said with a smile. Kai Jinshan's face was gloomy. Kai Jinshan took the jade pendant and sent his spiritual force into it. His face changed drastically and became extremely ugly. Kai Jinshan's figure slowly moved outside. Elders, take down Kai Jinshan. Kai Jinshan suddenly roared. Although the elders were stunned, they did not hesitate. Puppets appeared and surrounded Kai Jinshan in the middle. Tribe leader, what is the meaning of this? Kai Jinshan's face was extremely ugly. What is the meaning of this? Haha, Kai Jinshan, I really didn't expect that you were the one who betrayed the previous tribe leader. If not for that, how could the previous tribe leader be besieged and fall? Before the previous tribe leader died, he recorded everything in this jade pendant. Kai Jinshan, how should you punish yourself? Kai Jinshan roared, his eyes turning red. His heart ached. He had never thought that Kai Jinshan would betray the previous tribe leader. Lu Ming nodded. It was as he had expected. When Kai Yu brought him here and told him that he could break the seal, Kai Jinshan objected with all his might. He even tried to find a reason to kill Lu Ming. It was strange in itself. The others were hoping that Lu Ming could break the seal and let Lu Ming try. Only Kai Jinshan tried his best to stop him. It was as if he was afraid that Lu Ming would break the seal. Hence, Lu Ming had been on guard against him. When he was breaking the last array earlier, Lu Ming had been guarding against him. He used the array to stop him and snatched the items left behind by the previous chief of the Red Leopard tribe. If it landed in Kai Jinshan's hands first, he would definitely destroy the evidence. The elders' faces changed when they heard this. They looked at Kai Jinshan with gloomy faces. Ha ha ha. You're tuning in to the Celestial War YouTube channel. Don't forget to subscribe and join us on this journey to catch the most captivating stories.